Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct this afternoon with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. We're going to make this a short one, so we're going to go through real quick here because we have a appointment that we have to make at 1 o'clock, and we're running a little behind schedule, so we're going to squeeze one off real quick right here. So, first and foremost, you know what to do. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel here on YouTube. Secondly, words of the day from the mind and the mouth of Dr. Edward W. Crosby, the father of Black History Month. I don't have to do anything but be black and die. He loved to say that one. Now, he wasn't saying this near the end of his life, but he used to say it quite a bit when we were growing up. I ain't got to do nothing but be black and die. And in the end, he did both of those things quite well. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, let's do this little dance. We're going to read a poem real quick, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. Crosby. And after that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up real quick, like I said right here. This one we're going to do, I just see it here. It's in the Songs from an Afrophone by one of his proteges, one of his many proteges, Eugene Redmond. Let's see what Brother Eugene has to say here. This one is called Lone Song. First fears, first tears on autumn window panes. Leftover hurt from summer. Dregs of Illinois madness. California song is subtle sting. California chill is quiet, coy catwalk. Not noisy and nervous like Midwestern winters. My mood then often comes, is drum hummed by mail. My fury, my flame, my fidget caught. Postcard quick caught and cornered. Bulletin board shored upon salt-filled tomorrows. Brother, sister, nephew, niece, vital vibes on wire, on lyre, kin cords, blood cords of sounds or strings, spontaneous combustion of blood inside trees, inside seeds and shells, inside xylophones, telephones, and of course, you know it's gotta be in the saxophones. And that is Lone Song from Songs from an Afrophone by Eugene Redmond. Now, Dr. Crosby, the father of Black History Month, spent much of his time here on the campus of Kent State University, here in Kent, Ohio. However, it wasn't the only place that he spent time. It wasn't the only place that he worked at, and it wasn't the only place where he impacted the lives of people from around the world. He also he started off his first employment as an actual college professor was at Hiram College. So that's where he really got his start, at Hiram College, right up the road here from Kent, Ohio. However, his first teaching jobs were not beyond Hiram College, were in Akron, working with I can't think of the name of that program, but it was a program connected with the Urban League. Okay, he worked with a program connected with the Urban League, and that particular program was all about working with young folks and making sure to get them situated where they could go ahead, not only graduate from high school, but be able to survive in a college environment. And he didn't work at that job very long. Community Action Council. He's working with the Community Action Council in Akron with James Stewart, I believe his name is, the photographer here in Akron, Ohio, and the likes of Vernon Odom, etc. For those of you who are familiar with or know of Vernon Odom, then you may be aware of what he did there. But if not, you can look it up. You can find it on the internet. It's readily available. Um, and then he also he left. He only worked there for about a year or so, and then he left there and got an offer to work in East St. Louis at SIU with the experiment in higher education, and he worked there along with Don Henderson and Eugene Redmond, as I just mentioned. Just read his poem. He worked there with Willie Robinson, uh, Sherman Fowler, and a number of other people at SIU in East St. Louis. And he had a lot of success there. He worked there for a good 4 years before coming to Kent. So by the time he came to Kent, he was already an experienced administrator, which was very helpful in dealing with the situation here, where he had to not only administer a program, but he had to create a program out of whole cloth. He had to create a program, something out of nothing. Where there was nothing, he had to make something, and it had to be described. You had to have a curriculum for it and everything, and it was a stellar effort. He was very successful with that. But in doing that, in the process of doing that, that was how Black History Month came about. It came about as part of an overall process. It was not something that he said, hey, let me go and make this thing, and I'm going to make it a national event. I'm going to make it something that goes all over the planet Earth and is celebrated from Japan to London, England, to Pakistan, to all the way down into the deepest parts, or the most rural parts of Africa. But that is in fact what Black History Month has become. It has become much more than Negro History Week ever thought about being. But it's like the invention of the personal computer. You had two different approaches to producing the personal computer. You had one approach, which was the Microsoft approach, which was control everything, all the patents and everything, and make sure that you had tight control over these patents, and that you doled out licenses. You sold licenses to other companies to go ahead and produce your product. Whereas Apple or Macintosh actually controlled all of their patents and did no licensing. They had two different approaches. They had two different approaches to making the infrastructure for the computer. One of them had tried to be everything to everybody, which is the Microsoft method, but the Apple method was to make sure that you could get where you were going as fast as possible. And so they had everything what we call streamlined. Okay, they took that streamlined approach, and that's why they call the architecture of the Macintosh, or at least they have in the past, they called it elegant, an elegant computer architecture, which is an odd word to use to describe the architecture of a computer. Elegant. I think it's the only, as far as I know, the only time that term has been used is in reference to the early Apple computers, because they were, and to some extent they still are, the most elegant computers on the planet Earth. Microsoft was a workhorse. They made workhorse equipment that was designed, well, not Microsoft, but IBM. They made workhorse equipment that was designed to, like I said, try to satisfy everybody. But Apple honed in. And that's what Dr. Crosby did. He honed in on Black folks. He honed in on Black students. He honed in on Black life. He honed in on Black culture. And in doing that, that's how Black History Month got started. It got started as part of an overall process. And that process was so engaging that other people picked up on it and began having Black History Days in the public schools. In the high schools, they started doing Black History Week, and then other colleges eventually picked up on Black History Month. And before you know it, has become a worldwide phenomenon. But Dr. Crosby himself never really focused on it as a major accomplishment. No, he left that task for us to blow his horn for him. And that's what we're about doing over here at Black Facts. So if you want to know what we're about, that's what we're about. Now, as I said, this is going to be a short piece. So we're in and we're out without a doubt. This is Doc Ock at noon and 9 signing off. We'll be back tonight with our regular installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. We'll be continuing on with more stories of heroes and sheroes of the African struggle for liberation. We're going to be doing that for the rest of the month. So tune in tonight, because we're not going to be telling no myths or fables or folk tales for the children tonight. We're going to be talking about some real people. So tune on in. We'll see you then with a great big grin from our ear to our chin. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and hit that extra right about now. Peace out, y'all, with plenty of justice, because anything less disgusts us.